In a small, quiet village in the northeastern of Thailand, there exists an old tradition tied to a sacred drum. This drum, kept in the village hall, was only used during an annual festival honoring the spirits of the ancestors. It was an ancient drum, its wood edged with faded inscriptions of old protective spells, bound tightly with fraying hemp ropes. It was forbidden to play without purpose or ritual, as the village say doing so would awaken the spirit known as the Pi Hok Long, the ghost of the drum keeper. One muggy night, a group of teenagers, Nom, Gang, and I, gathered to drink and talk outside the village hall after a celebration. Tipsy and emboldened, the group felt playful and daring. The festival had been winding down, and they thought it would be thrilling to sneak into the hall to see the infamous drum up close. Do you think it's true what they say about the drum? Gang asked, his eyes flashing with mischief. No, it's just a story to scare the kids. Noom scoffed. He reached out, lifted the drumstick with a firm grip, and, without hesitation, he brought it down against the drum's taut skin. The single beat echoed through the hall, bouncing back with a dip of dozen drums, reverberating louder than it seems possible. The friends burst into laughter, half spooked but exhilarated. Yet, as the echo faded, they noticed something peculiar. A distant murmuring, like whispering, in the corner of the hall. It was faint, but unsettling, rising and falling as though multiple voices were surrounded them. The teens quickly left the hall, unnerved but dismissing it as an odd trick of mine. They did not realize what they had just awakened. After that night, the friend began to experiencing strange dreams. Each one they would find themselves in the darkened room where an old man stood, dressed in traditional garb, with white shirt and a faded sarong. The man held a drumstick in his hand, fiercely beating the sacred drum. As he drummed, blood trickled down his hand, pulling around the drum, turning the sound into a morbid echo. Noom, affected most deeply by this drum, would wake drenched in sweat, almost able to taste the metallic tang of blood that seems to fill his mouth. He mentioned his nightmares to the village elders, who looked at him with horror in their eyes. "Oh, young man, you have made a mistake," an elder woman told him with a trembling voice. "The spirit of the drum keeper. He watched over the drum. He's so tied to it since the day he passed. He was a great guardian, but disturbed him, and he will come for the retribution. Noom struck one, shrugged it off, and laughed it away. Yet, as the day passed, his friend Ging and I started seeing the figure of the drum keeper even in their waking hours. Sometimes Ging would spot the man's shadow lurking in the corner of his room, or I would hear faint drumming sounds when she was alone. Anxiety and fear gripped them, but they clung to each other, thinking it was just some shared hallucination. One evening, the heavy storm hit the village, thunder rumbling across the sky. The rain poured down with deafening roar. Villagers huddled in their homes, lighting the candles to ward off the ominous atmosphere. Amidst the storm, Noom awoke suddenly in the dead of the night, hearing a drum beat echoing from the direction of the village hall. The sound was faint, but rhythmic, steady, as though someone was calling out to him. Looking out of his window, Noom saw, through the sheets of the rain, the figure of an old man standing outside the village hall, drenched but unmoving, clenching the drumstick in one hand and gesturing silently toward the drum with the other. Overcome with terror, Noom ran to his parents and told him about what he saw. His parents, terrified, instruct him to go to the village elder, the Potao, a man known for his spiritual knowledge. Potao listened to Noom's story in silence, his face growing darker with every word. Finally, he spoke. The spirit is born to drum. It's his prison and his sanctuary. You have awoken him, and he will not rest until he receives proper respect. Go gather King and Oi. Tomorrow night you must go to the hall and perform a proper ritual to ask for his forgiveness. He instructed them to gather offerings, a pig's head, candles and rice, gifts to appease with the spirit. But Potau's face remained grave. There may be no time left. The dumkeeper will not rest until he gets what he wants. The next night, the three friends met at the village hall. They carried with them the offerings in their hands, shaking as they set them before the drum. Candles were lit, and they bowed, offering words of apology and respect to the unseen spirit. As they chanted their apology, the drum began to emit a low hum, vibrating without anyone touching it. Shadow flickers against the wall, and the smell of incense mingled with an overpowering scent of blood. Then, there he was, the drum keeper himself, standing beside the drum. His eye filled with sadness, his face twisted into a mask of rage, and then his eyes grow hollow and dark. Why did you awaken me? His voice was a whisper, but felt strong and echoed in their heads, growing louder until it became a scream. In a moment of desperation, Nung bowed his head on the ground, begging for forgiveness. Ging and Oi joined him, tears streaming down their faces, and the shadow of the dawn creeper seemed to flicker in a mix of anger and sorrow. After a long silence, he slowly dissipated into the darkness, leaving behind only the cold silence of the hall. Day passes, and the village returned to its calm. Yet, Num, Gang, and I could no longer keep sleep in peace. Even though the drum keeper had faded, they continued to hear the faint echo of the drum late at night. When they told Potao, he only nodded grimly and told them, "You have seen the spirit of the drum keeper. His presence will linger until the day you join him in the spirit world." And so, each year when the festival returned, the villagers gathered to honor their ancestor. The drum would beat once again, resound across the fields, louder than before. Some say the spirit of the drum keeper is watching them, reminding everyone of his presence.